Hey, Broke World Entertainment, and the full reviews for Ant-Man and the Wasp are here, and oh boy, are they more so bad than mixed. So much so, in fact, that Ant-Man and the Wasp on Rotten Tomatoes, which, take that as you will, started off as a 64%. So, not good, but not too bad. Well, it's now currently sitting at 51%. Certified rotten. And I'm not surprised. But some of these reviews are funny because there's a lot of 6 out of 10s. But when you read it, you're like, that sounds more like you wanted to give it a 3. But the first one I'll give you is interesting because it's quite a contradiction to what she wrote on Instagram. So we'll start off with none other than Perry Nemiroff, who has given the movie basically a 3 out of 10. So she's given it a rotten score. And she wrote, I will never unsee MODOK. Compare this to what she wrote on Instagram after seeing the movie. You know, kind of the straight out of the theatre reaction. She wrote, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is a big, messy, mixed bag. The good, the heart, and the humour in the grounded family dynamics. New characters from William Jackson Harper, David, however you pronounce the second name, the dude who played Polka Dot Man and Suicide Squad, and Katie M. O'Brien, and some stunning, super creative visuals. And then there's MODOK. So she wrote, like, it's a big messy bag. I followed up with, like, of the good, the heart, and the humour. So she seems to have given it a positive review in that one. And yet, she's given a one-line response on Rotten Tomatoes that just says, I'll never unsee MODOK. Okay. Let's get into... I love this one. Here's a 6 out of 10 for you. Matt Singer, Screen Crush, who wrote... So he certified this thing fresh with a review that simply says, your reaction will probably be determined by what you want out of the movie. Well, thanks there, Matt. Jesus Christ. Now, here's where things get interesting. Because here's a 6.5 out of 10. But it's a review that basically says the movie's garbage. Quantumania starts out on a messy note. The story and visual effects are all over the place until Kang enters the picture. His haunting presence allows the film to find focus and become more entertaining. The third act is much better, so the end of the movie. And the humour mostly works. 6.5 out of 10. It's certified fresh. But here's the real kind of weird part. Here's 2 reviews that are both 6 out of 10s, but one is certified fresh and the other one is certified rotten. Fresh comes from none other than Grace Randolph, who wrote, and by the way, this isn't even a review that screams she enjoyed it. Check this out. Some really great stuff here, especially in the first half, from Rudd, Pfeiffer, and Majors. But then the film totally falls apart, crushed under the weight of being asked to do too much for the franchise. It did make me want to buy Ant-Man books. No, it didn't make you want to buy Ant-Man books. But she says the film falls apart, and then she goes ahead and gives it a 6 out of 10 fresh rating. Okay. But here's a 6 out of 10 that somehow is a rotten score. Now 31 films and 5 phases deep into Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we've seemingly reached a new franchise low with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. That's certified rotten of a review, but it's a 6 out of 10. Every other 6 out of 10 is rated fresh. Here's another 6 out of 10, for example. That's fresh, but it's a review that says the movie's kind of all over the shop. Where the film falters, Jonathan Majors is there to lift it up. With a genuinely fantastic performance as Kang, the next great Marvel villain has arrived and somehow surpasses the hype. So basically, the film doesn't work until Kang shows up. But I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. But here's one of the reviews that I found interesting, because one of the only ones that really calls out the CGI. Not saying it's a bit off or something. Really calls it out and compares it to something that we've all been doing. So this comes from Dennis Zan, formerly of Collider. I don't know if he's still with Collider. I don't think he is. But here's what he wrote. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is an uneven ride of a movie. It features Marvel's signature humour, Paul Rudd's likeable, charming personality combined with a generic story and superflows random characters. Jonathan Majors as Kang is one of the bright spots, and he shines as the main villain of the movie. Every time he appears, he's intimidating and commands the screen. I know it's unfair to compare it, here's the interesting part, to the recent Avatar, The Way of Water, but since both use CG to create an entirely new world, it was hard to feel immersed in the quantum realm. Overall, it lacks the heart of the first film and trades it for unnecessary spectacle, which at times can be entertaining, but other times disengaging. I thought that was an interesting, because he's one of the only ones who really called it out for the CGI, because everyone's been doing that, like on YouTube and stuff. So going, these movies will now have to be compared to something like Avatar. It's like they're priding themselves. Look at our CG. We use volume screens. Woo! And then you look at Avatar, and let's not forget, if the characters are even motion capture. So it's not looking good for Phase 5. It looks like it's off to another bumpy start. The estimated opening box office has dropped as well. It's gone from, in the States, opening at, what were they saying, 120 million. That's now gone down to 99 million. And it's probably gone down again. But looks like Phase 5. And by the way, Feige's out there saying this is the most important movie of all the movies since Endgame. Get the hell out of here. Oh, it's just another Best Marvel movie since last Marvel movie. Can't wait to see next Marvel movie. And by the way, I've heard what the post-credit scenes are. I won't tell you what's in them. This be tiny bit of a spoiler if you don't want to know this, but it's setting up a TV show, not the next movie. Yay. Alright, so it looks like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is going to be another disaster for none other than Marvel, the MCU. And with that, I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.